Hello, everyone. This is Lexicon Architect coming at you with another budget commander list. And today we're going to be doing something I don't typically do, and that is mono blue. So I was looking on EDH Rec for some mono blue commanders, and I came across this one, which unfortunately I cannot purchase this commander on MTGO because I believe it is a promo card that you can only get from a chest. So, regardless of that fact, this deck is still very dirt cheap, as I'll talk about that at the end of the video, and would be an easy deck for you to build on your budget. If you do plan to play this in paper for whatever reason. So let's get into the commander. So we are playing Donal, Herald of the Wings. It is a 4-mana 3/3 that says whenever you cast a non-legendary creature spell with flying, you may copy it, except the copy is a 1/1 spirit in addition to its other card types, and you can only do this once per turn. So the thing that's cool about this commander is the May ability. So you don't have to always copy the flyer that ETBs. You can copy the ones that you really want that ability from. So let's say if the creature says something along the lines of like each other creature with flying gets +1/+1, or other spirit flyers get +1/+1, or you draw a card, or you scry or whatever, you will get that ability again. So let's get into the creature package. We're running 30 creatures, so we're playing Augury Owl. Sorry, not Angry Owl, but it does look pretty angry in the photo. So it's a 2-mana 1/1 with flying that when it ETBs, you get to scry 3. Then we're playing Cemetery Illuminator, a 3-mana 2/3 with flying that says when it ETBs or attacks, you exile a card from a graveyard, and then you may look at the top card of your library anytime, and once each turn, you may cast a spell from the top of your library if it shares a card type with the exile card. So if you exile an instant, you could look at the top card. If it's an instant, you can play it. If it's a creature, you get to play it. If it's an enchantment, and so on and so forth. Then we're playing Cloud of Fairies, 2-mana 1/1 with flying that we can either, when it ETBs, is basically a free card because you get to untap 2 lands. And if you don't need this card for whatever reason, you can cycle it away for 2 to draw. We're going to be playing Cloudkin Seer, a 3-mana 2/1 with flying. Then when it ETBs, you draw a card. So if we do copy this with our commander, we make a 1/1 spirit with flying, and then we'll draw an additional card. Then we're playing Curiosity Crafter, 4-mana 3/3 with flying that gives us no maximum hand size. And then whenever a creature token you control deals damage to a player, draw a card. So if we copy this, make another flyer, we get in with the flyer the next turn, we get to draw a card, and so on and so forth. Then we're playing Defiler of Dreams, a 5-mana 4/3 with flying that says as an additional cost to cast blue permanent spells, you may pay 2, and those cost 1 less to cast if you paid life this way. And then this effect can only reduce the amount of blue mana you pay. And then whenever you cast a blue permanent, you draw a card. So that's cool. So we could play this, copy this, have 2 of these things out, draw a bunch of cards whenever we play a blue permanent. Then we're going to be playing Ethereal Investigator, a 4-mana 2/3 with flying that says when it ETBs, you investigate 8 times, where X is the number of opponents you have, and then whenever you draw your second card each turn, you will make a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. Then we're playing Fairy Mastermind, a 2-mana 2/1 with flash and flying that says whenever an opponent draws their second card each turn, you draw a card, and then for 4 mana, each player draws a card. So you can flash this in, you can force your opponent to draw if they haven't already, and then you will draw an additional card out of this. Fairy Seer, simply a 1-mana 1/1 with flying that when it ETBs you get to scry 2. Then we're playing the Kingfisher, a 3-mana 2/1 with flying that says when it dies you draw a card. Then we're playing Loyal Drake, a 3-mana 2/2 with flying. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, if you control a commander, you get to draw a card. So if we do copy this, we have our commander out. Battle step, we'll draw 2. Then we're playing Malakor's Watcher, a 2-mana 1/1 with flying and vigilance that when it dies you draw a card. Then we're playing Swift Savior, a 4-mana 3/3 with flying that whenever it deals combat damage to a player, exile up to one target creature you own, then return it to the battlefield. So this is a blink ability for us, so we can blink things that scry, draw cards, etc., etc. Then we're playing Mole Drifter, 5-mana 2/2 that when it ETBs you draw 2. You can evoke it for 3, and if you do, it comes into the battlefield, and then it is sacrificed. So if we do evoke this for 3, copy it with our commander, we'll draw 4 cards. Then we're playing Nebelglass Herald, a 3-mana 2/1 with flash and flying, that when it or another spirit enters the battlefield under your control, you can tap target creature an opponent controls. Then we're playing Ornithopter for ramp. Overcharged Amalgam, which is a 4-mana 3/3 with flash and flying. And then if we exploit it, so we would have to sacrifice a creature, and then we can counter target spell, activate ability, or trigger ability. So this is it's a very key card for us because it allows us to counter a spell or activate or triggered ability, like I said. Then we're playing Schema Thief, a 4-mana 3/3 with flying, that whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you can create a token that's a copy of target artifact that player controls. So maybe we might want to copy a Soul Ring, a Signet, maybe you want to copy some other artifact that you like the ability of and you want it as well. Then we're playing Siren Stormtamer, a 1/1, a 1-mana 1/1 with flying that you can sacrifice it for a blue to counter target spell or ability that targets a creature you control. Then we're playing Spectral Sailor, a 1-mana 1/1 with flying and flash that we can pay 4 mana to draw a card. Then we're playing Sprite Noble, a 3-mana 2/2 with flying that gives all other creatures with flying +2/+0, and then we can tap this to pump the squad, so other creatures with flying get +1/+0 to the end of the turn. Then we're playing Supreme Phantom, a 2-mana 1/1 with not 2-mana 1/1, a 2-mana 1/3 with flying that gives your other spirits +1/+1. So we could also copy this. We make a spirit token with our commander, and then it's going to buff the squad. Tempest Djinn, just because it's a 3-mana 0/4 with flying that gives +1/+0 for each basic island you control. Then we're playing Thieving Skydiver. It is a 2-mana 2/1 that we can kick, and then it enters the battlefield. If it was kicked, you can gain control of target artifact with converted mana cost X or less. If that artifact is an equipment, you can attach it to this guy. Tide Skimmer, a 4-mana 2/3 that says whenever you attack with 2 or more creatures with flying, you draw a card. Then we're playing Tomb Raider, a 3-mana 1/1 that when it ETBs, you draw a card. Then we're playing a 3-mana 2/4 with flying that allows us to look at the top card of our library each turn at any time. At the beginning of combat, you may reveal the top card of your library. If you reveal a creature card this way, Vesuvian Drifter becomes a copy of that card till the end of the turn, except it has flying. Then we're playing Warden of Evos Isle, a 3-mana 2/2 that says creatures spells with flying you cast cost 1 less to cast. Then we're playing a 5-mana 3/3 with flying that gives all other creatures with flying +1/+0. And then finally, our last creature is Zephyr Sentinel, a 2-mana 2/1 with flash and flying that when it ETBs, we can return up to 1 target creature we control to its owner's hand. If it was a soldier, put a 1/1 counter on it. So it's not going to get a counter, but we could bounce back one of our flyers that gives us an ability you want to redo. So it could be something that draws, scries, etc., etc. And then for sorceries, we're playing Chart a Course. We draw 2 for 2, then discard a card unless you attack with a creature this turn. We're playing Gust of Wind, a 4-mana sorcery that becomes 2 less to cast if you control a creature with flying. You can return a non-land permanent you don't control to its owner's hand, and you draw a card. Then we play Of One Mind, a 3-mana spell that will draw us 2 cards. Preordain allows us to scry 2, then draw. Schema's Will, a 4-mana sorcery that allows us to choose 1, but if we control our commander, we can choose both. Target opponent chooses a creature they control, we gain control of it, and then choose a creature you control. Each other creature you control becomes a copy of that creature to the end of the turn. So let's say, for example, we have something that pumps the squad like Windstorm Drake. Then we copy Windstorm Drake. Then we play this. Everything else becomes a Windstorm Drake, so everything gets pumped. Wing Words is a 3-mana sorcery that costs 1 less to cast if you control a creature with flying. So this will be a 2-mana spell to draw us to. And then for instance, we're playing Familiar's Ruse. It's a 2-mana counter spell that, as an additional cost, you must return a creature you control to its owner's hand. Then we're playing Lazotep Plating, a 2-mana instant that amasses 1, and then you and permanents you control gain hexproof until the end of the turn. Then we play Lofty Denial, which counters target spell unless its controller plays 1. But if we control a creature with flying, we counter that spell unless this opponent pays 4. Then we play Negate to counter target non-creature spell, Opt to scry and draw, Pongify to destroy target creature and it cannot be regenerated, and then our opponent will make a 3/3 green 8 token. Then we play Rabid Hybridization, a 1-mana spell to destroy target creature that can't be regenerated, and then they make a 3/3 green frog lizard token. And then we play Reality Shift to exile target creature, and then its controller manifests the top card of their library. They put the top card of the library face down as a 2/2. If it's a creature card, it can be turned up anytime for its mana cost. And then finally, we play 3-mana counterspell and Wizard's Retort. And then for artifacts, we're playing Signet, Commander Sphere, to cancel out the Endless Water to give us no maximum hand size, Felwar Stone, Lightning Grease for protection, Midnight Clock for ramp. And then if we hit our 12th counter on it, we shuffle our hand in our graveyard into our library, then we draw 7. Nyx Lotus, it's a 4-mana artifact that comes into the battlefield tapped. And then we choose a color, which will be blue, and then we add mana of that color equal to your devotion in that color. So your devotion is equal to the number of blue symbols among non-land permanents you control. Then we play Skull Clamp for draw, Sky Damon for ramp, Soul Ring for ramp, Swift Foot Boots for protection, Sword of the Animus to grab lands out of our deck and thin our deck out, Thought Vessel to give us no maximum hand size. And then for enchantments, we're going to be playing Favorable Winds. It gives our creatures with flying +1/+1. Then we're playing Feywild Visitor, a 3-mana legendary enchantment that says commander creatures you own have whenever one or more non-token creatures deal combat damage to a player, you create a 1/1 blue fairy creature token with flying. Then we play Military Intelligence, a 2-mana enchantment that says whenever you attack with 2 or more creatures, you draw a card. Then we play Propaganda. Creatures can't attack you unless they pay 2 for each creature that they control that's attacking you. Then we play Reconnaissance Mission. It's a 4-mana enchantment that says whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. And then you can cycle this away for 2 to draw. And then our last enchantment is Wizard Class. Gives us no maximum hand size. We can level it up for 3 to draw 2. And then for 5, whenever you draw a card, you put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. And then for lands, it's pretty simple. Castle Vantress to tap 4 and scry 2. 32 Islands, Lonely Sandbar to either be a land for us or to cycle away. and then Rivendell. It enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a legendary creature. And then for 2 mana, we can scry 2, and we can only activate it if we control a legendary creature. So that's the deck. We curve out at 2. This deck is going to run you about 105 to 110 in paper, and it's pretty cheap to build, and it looks like it'll be a ton of fun to play, especially if you like the fact that you're going to be flying over almost everything your opponent has, unless they have their own flyers, whatever the case may be. I think this deck is pretty dang cool, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and it will be uploaded to YouTube shortly with all my social media links. And if you like this video, please subscribe to me on YouTube. It'll help me out tremendously, and I hope you have a great day.